Hey, it's Dave from cheapwinefinder.com, and today we have another wine like we always do. We have a companion podcast for a wine we put on the cheapwinefinder.com website, and the one today has a long name. It's a $9.99 Trader Joe's wine, and let me grab the bottle because it does go on for a while. It's the Trader Joe's Reserve Pinot Noir, Monterey County, 2018, lot 191. And that is a long name for a $10 wine, but that's okay, and it's kind of an interesting wine. Trader Joe's wines, especially these reserve wines, are kind of interesting because they're one-off wines. You know, Trader Joe's has their own brands, and they contract somebody who makes these brands for them. And if they're popular, you see them again and again for years. And these are one-off wines. These are kind of special deals. So they're actually something you kind of want to look for, because sometimes they're wines that might be normally selling for much more, but Trader Joe's gets a deal, and sometimes they're wines that should sell what they sell for. You never know, but that's kind of the fun of it, and they never cost too much money, though I did see that they had a $20 Napa Oakville cab, and I'm thinking, I don't know about that, because you're getting into the range where I can actually get producers that I know, not some unspecified producers that make, decent Napa wines in that money. And so I don't know about that one, but this is a Monterey Pinot Noir, and Monterey is just south of San Francisco on the Monterey Bay. And it's actually the largest producer of Pinot Noir in California. It beats Santa Barbara and Carneros and Russian River and Sonoma Coast and all the famous ones. You don't always think of Monterey when you think of Pinot Noir, but they do very well for themselves. And it's also, I think, the number 2 Chardonnay producer. And part of the reasons why they can do this is off the coast, there's the big blue spot. There's a big hole in the ocean, and the water goes very deep, and that's like a concentration of cold water. And the breezes come off the shore, and it's nice and cold, and so there's a lot of cool weather areas in Monterey, and there's also coastal mountains there that block the cold air, and then there's warmer areas. So Monterey has a lot of different wines in it, and a lot of them are fairly affordable, though they do have their pricey wines. And I'm going to take a sip of this one because it's kind of interesting. There's a little bit spicier than most wines, but on the other end, it has a little bit of rounded, smooth blackberry and milk chocolate. So I'm going to take a sip because I like taking a sip. Yeah, it's got really good mouthfeel. It's a smooth and silky on your palate. It's a little heavy. I think it's 13.8 on the alcohol, which isn't that crazy nowadays. Back in the day, like with Burgundy, if it was over 12.5, people had a fit. But in California, it can get a little hotter. It's not, it's not one of those ethereal Pinot Noirs where all the flavors just kind of float by, and it's not one of those Pinot Noirs that are kind of popular nowadays that you can confuse for Syrah. It's, it's maybe it's closer to ethereal than it is to heavy, but it's not ethereal. And it's pretty good, and there's not that much to say about it. They don't tell you anything about it. If I knew a little bit, like one of the reasons Pinot Noir, it looks inexpensive, Pinot Noir has gotten really good in the last few years because they're starting to make it make the wines in Beaujolais, which is using carbonic maceration, which is a technique that brings all the flavors together quicker, and it comes so you can sell it sooner, and you don't have to age it as long, and it works in Beaujolais, and all of a sudden these inexpensive, kind of not so wonderful Pinot Noirs are kind of like pretty good in their own right. And I don't know if they did this here because they don't tell you too much about anything. Trader Joe said it's one of their valued wine partners, and they got a whole bunch of them. And they actually have, if you know who makes them, and I kind of know on a bunch of them, I don't know on this one, but they're big name producers. Just because a big name producer made it doesn't mean like the big name winemaker made it, or they made it with the grapes they normally use. It could be, grapes they purchased from somewhere, and it could be their associate winemaker, their intern winemaker. I mean, you don't know, but it's with, a big name producer is kind of guaranteeing the quality a little bit and making sure everything's fine. And that's good. And this is $9.99. It's a Monterey Pinot Noir. It's a one-off. I mean, it's not going to be around next year. If you see it, give it a try. It's kind of different. It's got this rounded milk chocolate and black cherry thing, and then it's got at first it's smoothed out, but it had this Altoid spice. It's like boom, this sharp hit of candy hot spice, and the two of them meshed. Like whoa. And then a little after a while, the smoother flavor just kind of took over, and the spice calmed down. And yeah, but that's kind of fun when you got a Pinot Noir, and it's kind of fun when you got a wine that does some things that you don't normally get, and it's kind of fun when it only costs $9.99. And that's what Trader Joe's reserve wines are good for. You take a chance and see what you get. It's a one-off thing. By the time you go back and get another one, it's sold out, and you wait for the next thing to come along. So it's just take a chance and see what you get. It's one of those wines, and yeah, you're going to get a nice, interesting wine. And when it comes to Pinot Noir, interesting's half the battle. And so that's it for me. I don't know who made it. I know who sold it. Don't have too many details. The tasting notes and everything are in the cheapwinefinder.com website, where I wrote that out. So if you're in Trader Joe's, stop. The same people who made this made the Cotillion Pinot Noir, which is the Pinot Noir that's got the 1700s scene of a party, and the animals are at the party, not humans, and they're wearing masks of different animals. It's one of my favorite wine labels. If it doesn't have skulls on it, at least you have animals pretending to be other animals. So that's it for me. It's somebody who made wine, Pinot Noir that I liked before. It's $10. Give it a shot. It's all good. What can you ask for? Adios over now. And we'll have some other things. I think I'm heading out to Costco this week. We'll see what they have to offer for the new year. And I'll talk to you in a few days. Bye-bye over now.